I'm going to begin, Elizabeth, by asking what initially attracted you to getting involved in Peter Rabbit?
Well, I have a long history with Peter Rabbit, as do many people, but it was given to me, it was the very first book I was ever given, my christening present by my godmother, so I've always known it. I grew up on the stories, and then Will asked me to be involved, and I didn't even really think. And I've never done an animation before, so it was really appealing.
Do you think you knew the sort of backstory to you having had that special relationship with Peter Rabbit, or was that coincidence?
No, I think it was coincidence, but it's also that most people, I know Margot is the same, and Daisy, I mean, we all grew up on it too, you know. It seems pretty universal that people did, and someone I was speaking to on the radio this morning said that just the other day his nephew was being christened and he went out and bought Peter Rabbit, you know, books and things, and it's still this rite of passage, I think.
And obviously you mentioned this is your first animation, but what was that kind of the voice acting experience like for you? I mean, a lot of people say it's so different to acting, kind of obviously in person, I suppose, but at the same time, no less challenging.
It's not less challenging. It's sort of well, I found it very liberating because you really are just in the dark and you know, you're not at all thinking about your outer self. You're really just thinking about how to connect the thought to the voice and really either land the joke or have the line be very clear. And you know, I was working in a dialect and trying to find the voice and make her sound younger and all this. So it's sort of like, it's a lot at the beginning to try and make your brain really align and get it spot on. But after a little while, it becomes more natural, and then you can just have fun and throw it around.
So how do you make a voice sound younger? I don't think I could do that without just going really high pitched. And
well, I mean, a part of it is just going high pitch and changing your accent a little bit. I don't know. I think it was a mindset for me to think about how kids think and how, you know, they're really young, the bunnies, and there's sort of a sense of wonder and awe, and you know, they're really excited all the time, and you know, just put that into your voice, it helps.
That must be quite a fun mindset to get yourself into every day as well, to sort of get into that frame of mind.
It was, yeah. It was actually really, really lovely. And at times I would come in and record this while I was shooting other things. And it was sort of like a bit of a holiday to go back into Beatrix Potter land and just have fun for a few hours.
And did you get the chance to sort of hang out with much of the other cast? I mean, obviously, because it can be quite isolating, I imagine, the experience of doing voice acting. But for example, Domhnall and Rose, I mean, they're obviously... they're enormous and a completely separate movie to you, I suppose, when it comes to the making of it. But did you actually hang out with any of them or anything like that? Was it quite separate in the process?
It was quite separate. Daisy and I think, were the only actors who worked on the voices of the characters that worked together. We had a few sessions together, but then it was just by myself in a little booth.
And it must be nice as well to make a movie that you know can be appreciated by all the kind of younger members of your family, stuff that you can share with everyone, I suppose.
It's really beautiful, and I find myself saying to, you know, friends who have kids or even teenagers or whatever, you know, I'm just telling everyone to go and see it because it's really beautiful, and I wish I had kids, I'd send them off.
Because you've got some really exciting stuff coming up and stuff that you not necessarily can be watched with kids. I mean, Widows obviously is the first one with Steve McQueen.
Yes.
I mean, that's like the hottest ticket in town to get to work with him. You must have been thrilled to be a part of that.
Yes.
How does your character fit into that story?
Well, I don't want to talk too much about it and give too much away, but she's one of the widows. And it's an incredible cast, but the widows are played by Viola Davis, Michelle Rodriguez, Cynthia Erivo, and myself. So just being able to work with those three women and Steve was just completely a dream.
And you're playing Virginia Woolf as well.
I am.
You know, that must have been great to get into that mindset. I mean, just to embody someone like that, I mean, that must have been a real challenge, but such an enjoyable one.
Yes, you answered your own question. It was an enjoyable challenge. Yeah, no, it was. I mean, that is the ultimate privilege. I think it was. Again, you know, such a legacy, and I have so much respect, and I've held her very close to my heart for many years in her books. So, you know, huge leap into the unknown, but let's see how it goes.
And just finally, you're just making such great movies. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is obviously another one in the pipeline. According to IMDb, you're one of only 2 people that are officially in it.
Who is it? Who's the other person?
Pom.
Oh yeah, it's just me and Pom.
It's just you and Pom.
Just the whole movie.
Just like a road movie, just kind of the two of you just in space.
Just like 2 girlfriends hanging out in space, yeah.
But I mean, it must be so great just to be a part of the Marvel universe at the moment. I mean, they do seem to just be making hit after the hit, and it's almost like they're running on their own sense of momentum. I mean, just to feel like you're a part of that whole machine. I mean, that must be just great, I suppose, at the moment for any actor.
It's an amazing motor, you know, under the whole sort of machine of Marvel, and all the people involved are so passionate, and the fans are so passionate. I've never really experienced anything like being at Comic-Con and part of a Marvel film, the sort of energy and the expectation and how much it means to people, and it was really, really a privilege. And I'm, you know, to me, it feels like such an honour to be involved in something that has such a following, and such wonderful actors on that film, just such lovely people. And James, our director, is such a wonderful guy. I just love him, and I think he's great and totally unique. So yeah, it's been a great thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey You